I just always double cleanse, moisturize, sunscreen. That is like the bare minimum for my skin. Like that is what I need every single day just to put on topically on my face. Everything else is just as needed basis. I try to keep it simple with the skincare that I do use because I find if I have a multi-step skincare routine, it does not help me. It complicates things and I don't find it necessary to add 20 steps in my routine. If I am using different products, I kind of have to interchange them and be very careful when I do add a new product in and how it's going to be able to easily sustain the skin that I have. As of right now, obviously, if you haven't seen my last video, I do still deal with acne prone skin and I do deal with a little bit of rosacea, so my skin does get very irritated easily. Face wash and cleansers is going to be the Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser. I find this one to be very gentle. It's the one for dry to normal skin and slash sensitive skin. It hydrates as it cleans to soothe and replenish skin moisture. It has hydrating glycerin and essential vitamins B5 and B3. It's #1 doctor recommended for sensitive skincare brand. I will mention from my last video about being on Accutane, this was one of the cleansers that my dermatologist did recommend. So it has been a tried and true, very basic face cleanser, and it has minimal amount of ingredients in it, so I find this to be an everyday skin cleanser. Doesn't do me wrong, gets the job done. When I do wash my face, I do double cleanse, so even with this, I double cleanse, and that is my everyday. So if I want to use like something different, I definitely will go in for something more for if I do have a breakout. If I'm trying to prevent a breakout, it's gonna be CeraVe Renewing Salicylic Renewing Essay Cleanser. This is for normal skin, gentle cleanses and exfoliates while softening and smoothing skin. It's non-comedogenic, non-drying, non-irritating with ceramides. I don't usually double cleanse with this. I usually will go in a gentle cleanser, an everyday cleanser, and then I'll go in with this for the second cleanse. So that's what I'll usually do, but I try not to do that back to back when I am washing my face. I should probably say this, I don't wash my face in the morning, I wash my face at night. So we're gonna start from the night and then into the day. I think that's like the best way to go, I guess. Yeah, we'll go from night to day, but for night, that's what I do is I wash my face. In the morning, I do not. And I will rotate between and the Panoxyl, it's the 10% benzoyl peroxide maximum strength. Clears existing acne, helps prevent new breakouts from forming, treats acne in face and body, maximum strength without a prescription. I have heard some things about this where there might be, or it does have an ingredient that isn't, it's a little questionable, so obviously I would look into that if that is going to affect you personally, but this is just, again, this is personally what I use. Doesn't work for everyone, but this is what's worked for me for the last several years. And again, I don't use this every week. I try not to. I try to just keep with a gentle cleanser. It just really depends if my face is breaking out and it's just as bad as it can get. Then I'll go in with this, but it's never going to be used back to back. And again, I will use a gentle cleanser first. Second cleanse will be this. Whether I use the salicylic acid or the benzoyl peroxide, I do leave these on, not together, but when I do use them, I leave them on for about a minute or two just for it to work on my face. Because if I just wash it off completely right after I put it on, it doesn't really do anything. It's not as effective, so I definitely leave those two on when I use either of these. That's my face wash routine when I get out. I also don't use physical exfoliants on my face personally, but when I do get out, my face is still wet. I don't dry it off, and I will go in with, I mean, you can use any toner, but the toner I use is the Thayers facial toner with witch hazel. It's the unscented version, alcohol free. I will use this probably 3 different layers, and I leave that on, let it kind of absorb, and then I'll go in with moisturizer. I was using, this was also something that my dermatologist recommended, but it was the CeraVe Daily Moisturizing Lotion for normal to dry skin. My skin is normal. It's not normal, it's like combination wise, but it also leans more dry than not. I don't find it to be as oily. I guess it depends with like weather related. Was using this, but I have recently switched this out and went back to the Cetaphil Moisturizing Lotion. Dry to normal sensitive skin, instantly soothes, protects skin from dryness for 48 hours. Also #1 dermatologist recommended facial cleanser brand, but this also contains avocado oil and essential vitamins B5 and B3. So this has honestly helped my skin stay moisturized throughout the day. What I do is I'll use this. I'll take like 1 pump of it, put it on my face, let it absorb. That is pretty much what I do for the night. And then in the morning, I make sure that my hands are fresh, clean, and I will go back in at a point in the morning and I put this back on. I do not wash my face twice a day, or in the morning. I wash it at night. I find my skin gets really irritated if I wash it twice a day and double cleanse twice a day. It's too much for me. So if I feel like I need a little bit more of moisturization in my skin, I do go in and use a little bit of the Aquaphor Healing Ointment, Advanced Therapy for Cracked, Dry, Irritated Skin, clinically proven to restore smooth, healthy skin. It's a skin protectant, preservative, and fragrance-free. It's dermatologist recommended, so I definitely use this if my skin is really irritated, really red, and sometimes it gets near my nose and my cheeks. It's kind of where I do develop rosacea-like symptoms. I did get this recently. I've had this before. This is the box. Prosacea. It is for rosacea. It's a gel. I very rarely use this. I use this very sparingly. It is honestly only if it looks so bad and nothing else has helped. It's kind of a last resort. If I'm not using the Aquaphor, that the Prosacea gel is something that I will use. But I do find just using a little bit of Aquaphor does help my skin, so this is again last resort. It's a medicated homeopathic topical gel. It's also dermatologist recommended. Use this very sparingly. Oh, I should say, I also, speaking of Aquaphor, I am currently using the chapstick by Aquaphor. It's pretty much the same thing. This just has SPF in it. I will use the lip repair stick plus sunscreen, repairs, protects for very dry lips, broad spectrum SPF 30. It helps relieve dryness, soothe chapped, cracked lips, fragrance free and paraben free. The only difference between this and the Aquaphor, the regular Aquaphor tube, is just that this one has SPF in it. So that's basically what I use. Speaking of SPF, what I also will use in the morning is the CeraVe AM Facial Moisturizing Lotion with sunscreen. It's a broad spectrum SPF 30, so basically I'm double moisturizing, but this has sunscreen. It moisturizes throughout the day and helps restore and protective skin barrier. Has 3 essential ceramides, niacinamide, and hyaluronic acid. This is also oil-free, so I use this probably 3 to 4 pumps to really cover my whole face, neck, and hands, depending on what part of my skin is exposed. Obviously, I'll do my arms if that's what's exposed, but for right now, it's only spring, so that is what I do. Again, if I do go outside, I'm like wearing protective clothing. I wear sunglasses and sunscreen, so yeah. But if I am having breakouts, what I do use a retinoid. I do use an over-the-counter retinoid. I do use the Differin gel. Again, I use this very sparingly. I use it maybe once to twice a week because my skin is very sensitive, so it's the Differin gel. It's over-the-counter, so you can get this at any store, but it's adapalene gel, 0.1% acne treatment, previously available only by prescription. It's FDA approved, dermatologist developed, once daily topical retinoid. Read consumer information, label or leaflet below use. Obviously, this is very personal choice depending on if retinoids work for you. You could use it once a day, like the box said. I think you work up to it. You kind of use it once a week, then twice, and then, you know, so on. But I only use it twice a week. My skin's just super irritated, so throughout the week, it just really depends on how my skin is. And this is the tube that it comes in. It's pretty small, but the purpose for this is the acne treatments, and I put this along my face and my neck. But I just find this is the most simplified skincare routine that works best for my sensitive, acne-prone skin. And I just really wanted to talk about it after opening the conversation about how I dealt with acne and how it led to me having to get put on Accutane. Just recently, I added a few more products and I was kind of using it closer together, so it ended up breaking my face out. I started getting those little bumps on my face, like those tiny little bumps. They weren't like whiteheads, they weren't red, they were just kind of there, and I reduced the amount that I had going onto my skin. That really helped decrease all of the breakouts. So I also think I might do an in-depth quick makeup routine, like a daily makeup routine, because I did kind of, if you haven't seen it, my first video was crazy. I really just slapped some makeup on and just didn't really care, but it was more just because I didn't want to have to think too much about my first video. I really just wanted to get it out there. Just wanted it out there, but I also didn't want to come on the first video looking so crazy, so I kind of just leaned into the chaos. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I catch you in the next one. Bye.